Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. This quote by Thomas Edison rings true for everyone, especially for Albert Einstein, one of the most respected and recognized scientists of our time. He changed our perception of the universe and space with his theories. His work paved the way for innovations like nuclear energy and is considered the cornerstone of modern physics. But how many of us know about the struggles this genius went through? Welcome to my channel. And today let's find out some unknown facts about Albert Einstein and his life story. Just a quick reminder, this is not the real Albert Einstein, but an actor playing him. Albert was born on March 14, 1879 in Ulm, Germany. He was an exceptionally gifted child and began reading at age 2. By age 6, he had taught himself geometry. But in school, he was considered slow and was often punished for being inattentive. His parents and teachers expected him to have a practical job, so college was out of the question. When Albert was 9 years old, his family moved to Munich. There he attended a middle school where he excelled in science and math, but he hated the discipline and rote learning required by the teachers. So he eventually dropped out of school. In 1894, when Albert was just 15 years old, he ran away from home and lived on his own in Italy. After returning to Germany, he enrolled at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic in Zurich to study for a teaching diploma. In 1900, he graduated and became a teacher. But Albert was far from successful during these early years. From 1901 to 1909, he applied for several academic positions, but only received a few temporary positions that lasted for a few weeks or months. In 1902, he married his first cousin, Elsa, who came from a wealthy family. Her financial support helped him to survive during those lean years. In 1905, after struggling for nearly a decade, Albert finally got his big break. He published 4 groundbreaking papers that revolutionized scientific thinking. These papers laid the foundation for his theory of special relativity, which changed our understanding of space and time. They also explained the photoelectric effect, that is the basis of solar panels. Another paper showed that mass and energy are interchangeable, which is fundamental of nuclear energy. The 4th paper established about mass and energy. In 1909, he joined the faculty of the University of Zurich, but soon left to take up a position at the University of Prague in the Czech Republic. After spending a year there, he returned to Zurich because he missed his family. During World War I, he worked at the patent office in Bern, Switzerland, examining and classifying patents. This was the job that gave him the free time he needed to complete his general theory of relativity. It took him 8 years to finish it. He published the theory in 1915. This work won him the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. But even with all his success, Albert was far from happy. He was deeply affected by the war and the suffering he saw around him. Also, his marriage was not going well. In 1917, he and his wife separated, and in 1919 they divorced. In 1921, Albert visited the United States for the first time and lectured in several cities. He was so impressed with America that he called it the land of promise. In 1933, he left Germany forever and settled in the US. He became an American citizen in 1940. He spent his last 20 years working at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. Albert died on April 18, 1955 at the age of 76. But his legacy lives on. His work has inspired generations of scientists, and his name is synonymous with genius. Now let's find out some unknown facts about Albert Einstein. 1. Despite being a genius, Albert failed many of his early exams. This was due to his inability to work well under pressure. In fact, he did not even pass his final exams at the Swiss Federal Polytechnic. 2. Albert was not just a scientist. He was also a talented musician. He played the violin beautifully and composed music throughout his life. Unfortunately, most of his compositions were lost. 3. Albert was not against religion. In fact, he believed in a higher power. However, he rejected organized religion. He said that God does not play dice. This referred to quantum mechanics, which seemed random to Albert. 4. Albert was arrested twice by the FBI. This was during the McCarthy era when he was suspected of being a communist. In reality, Albert was neither a communist nor a member of any political party. He was simply against war and nuclear weapons. 5. Albert was offered the presidency of Israel, but he declined the offer. He was honored to be asked, but he felt that he was not qualified to be a president. Plus, he loved his American citizenship too much to give it up. 6. Albert was a pacifist all his life. He believed that war was never the answer. In fact, he was arrested for protesting against the Vietnam War. He said that violence is wrong, no matter what. 7. Albert was a humanitarian who cared deeply about social issues. He supported civil rights and equal rights for all people. He was also involved in several peace initiatives during his lifetime. 8. Albert was not just a scientist. He was also a great teacher. He inspired countless students with his passion for learning. One of his students, Richard Feynman, won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 19. He was a gifted writer, a skilled musician, and he could even make people laugh. He was known for his sense of humor and his ability to tell jokes. Now let's find out what we can learn from Albert Einstein. 1. Never give up on your dreams. No matter how difficult they may seem, anything is possible if you set your mind to it. 2. Hard work is the key to success. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. 3. Be curious and never stop learning. The world is full of wonders, and there's always something new to discover. 4. Be passionate about what you do. If you love what you do, then you will be successful. 5. Be humble and never forget your roots. No matter how famous and accomplished you become, always remember where you started from. 6. Stand up for what you believe in, even if you are in the minority. Speak up and be heard. 7. Use your talents to help others. Be a force for good in the world. 8. Appreciate the beauty of the world around you. Take time to enjoy the little things in life. 9. Live life to the fullest. Don't waste your time on hate, anger, or fear. Instead, focus on love, compassion, and joy. 10. Remember that everyone is different and unique. Don't judge others or try to fit them into your own mold. Embrace diversity and celebrate what makes each of us special. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you have a favorite Albert Einstein quote or story, please share it with us in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you next time.